Hi, my name is Katie Vander, and I am teaching CO233 this year. I have a couple sessions, so I'm just going to demonstrate one session. Now, all the sessions will be set up the same, but you'll notice your session number may be different. Okay, in this video, we're going to look at lab connections because lab connections is a large part of your grade and how we can get some hands-on work for our Network Plus certification if you choose to use it. First, I'm going to look at the textbook and software link and just explain real quick that there are different ways that you might come across the book. The textbook is Network Plus Guide to Networks, and you do need the 6th edition. With that, you also need to get a access code for Cengage Brain Lab Connections. This is different than in the book. There's also something called Cert Blaster. We don't use Cert Blaster, so you don't need that. Now, looking under textbook and software, here are your options. If you're using the bookstore, there's a bundle. This ISBN is a special bundle number just for GRCC Bookstore, and I think Brian's has it as well. And this comes with the textbook and a printed access card. So that is what you need. Now, if you have the book or you want to buy the book online cheaper, which you could probably find, go ahead and do that as a used option or rent it from one of the many sites. And then you can go to this link and get a instant access code for lab connections. So right through Cengage Brain, you just make sure it's the instant and not the printed access card, because if it's printed, they actually have to mail it. So the instant access card, you add it to the cart, you check out, and they'll give you your access code for lab connections. So there's the link in Blackboard. A few other things, the publisher has some other textbook information. You can read through DreamSpark. And then here we have a link to more information on lab connections, and that's right here, lab connections info and directions. Now this link takes you right to the login for that. So to start off with, it's lab connections. It's really important to read the student manual because it will help you create your user account and get access to the labs for this course. Now, once you have your access code, what you need to do is create a user account. So you can go out to this website, login.cengagebrain.com, and launch lab connections. Now, if you don't have an account, you need to first create an account, and it'll look like this. And here you can say, if you don't have a student account, create a new account. So you first create an account, and you only have to do that once. And then you register your access code. This is 14-digit access code for lab connections, not Cert Blaster. It's something different. And then once you do that, you enter in your class code. Our class code is something that I set up, and for each class it's different. It is the last 4 of the course number. So and this will be in Blackboard under your course. For example, this class code is 3873. And the other class code for fall is 1585. And next winter it would be whatever the last 4 class codes are, the last 4 of your course. So once you enter that you enter in your access code, you enter in your class code, and then you submit, you'll have a link that says labs. And then once you have access to your labs, what you can do is start launching them. Now here's an example in the student manual. It'll show the labs that we do for our course, which is the Network Plus certification, Network Plus exam, and not A+, but this is just an example. And we do all the labs for all the chapters. I believe there's about, actually there's quite a bit, there's 25. Now, but they're fun to do. Let me just show you an example. I can't go through the login process because I don't have a student account, and mine takes me different places. But once you get logged in and you go to your labs, So mine looks a little different up here, but you'll have account information, and then you'll see labs. And once you go to your labs, you pick the lab that you want to start, and it'll walk through this process. It'll walk you through your hands-on. Now, let me make sure this is going. In this case, I started it already because it reads it to you. So you could use earbuds or headphones, or you could just turn off the noise and read it for yourself. So when you start the videos, the labs, there are different components that we'll look at in a second. But you go through and you answer the questions. So WAN. And then you hit next, and it goes on to the next question.
What is the three-letter acronym for a network that serves just your office?
Now, you can use, in some parts of the labs, you can use the Show Me option, and it tells you the answer. But we are using these labs in challenge mode. So what will happen is when you get to a portion of the lab, I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. But when you get to a portion of the lab, what it will do is give you a quiz portion where it won't let you use the Show Me option. So back here, we are in Lab Connections, Info, and Directions. And what it does is it tells you the grading system or how the challenge mode operates. So the challenge mode, what this allows us to do is practice. We have two portions. We have a hands-on end-to-end procedure that you perform, and then a quiz related to the end-to-end or questions in the chapter. Now you can use your book, of course, because most of the classes are online, or you might be doing this outside of a classroom environment, so you can use your book to help. But those two grades, once you go through those two portions of one lab, you get an exercise grade, and then you get a lab grade, and then you get a combined grade, and that's an average of both those grades together. Now, some parts of the lab you can take multiple times, so this will increase your combined grade percent. That's called high watermark grading, so you can read about that. And here's a list of the labs that we'll take. So once you get set up through Lab Connections, go through the first lab, and then when you get to your learning modules, this is where you submit your Lab Connection work, and I'll explain that in our welcome module and how you submit your assignments. Thank you. If you have any questions or problems with Lab Connections, there's also, I should get back here. Lab Connections is something that we do not monitor, so create your user account. If you already have one from previous semester, you still need an access code for this course, but you can use your same account. And there is assistance from Cengage, so this is something that's outside of the college that's used. You can also send me an email through this option, and I can try to help you, but you have to buy the access code. There's no way around it. Have a great day.